you make two loops, one with the rope to you and one with the rope away from you. Then you have this. Then you shuffle them across each other with the ropes on the inside. Then you have the big loop. You can put it over the pole and tie it on. How to use a clothage around a tree. You go around the tree with the rope. You cross and you go back around the tree. Then you go back under the rope that's going away and under the rope that's crossing the first rope. Then you tie it on. How to attach a boat with a clothage. You take the rope and you make a loop with the rope that's going to the boat on top. Go around the pole. You make a second loop, the rope that's going to the boat again on top and back around the pole, and you tie it on. Make a third loop, same way, around the pole and tie it on. A fourth loop, same way, around the pole and tie it on. Fifth one, around the pole and tie it on. Sixth one, around the pole and tie it on. How to use 2 half hitches to secure a knot. You take the end of the rope, you go over the main rope, from the underside into the hole, back over the main rope, from the underside through the hole, and tie it on. Figure of 8 knot. You take the rope and you make a big loop. Take the loop down so you have a second loop. Then you are going around the rope completely and put in the rope into the hole and tie it on. Then you can attach it in a climbing harness for rock climbing. How to use the figure of 8 knot into a harness. First you make a single 8 knot. Make sure you have enough rope left to make this double 8. Take the rope, make a loop, go completely around, put it through the hole, so you have a 8 knot. Then you put the end of the rope into the harness and you follow your 8 knot. Start, go under, into the hole, under, back into the hole from upwards, around, back in the last hole from downwards, upwards, and then you can tie it on. Butterfly knot. You take the rope You place it in front of your thumb. Take the rope again and turn it around your fingers and let it hang. Take the rope, you place it in the middle of the two, turn it around and let it hang. And you take the first rope around your fingers, make it a bit longer and place it over the two ropes before. Then you put it under the two. And you tie it on and spread it out. You can use this knot for rock climbing. Bowline. You take the rope and you make a small loop. The rope that's going down you place on top. Then you make a bigger loop with the rope that's going down. You place it under the hole and you go through it. Go with the end of the rope behind the rope that's going up, back into the hole where the rope was coming out, and then you tied it on. Bowline to rescue yourself out of the water. You take the rope and you place it around your middle. You take the rope that's going away from you and you make a small loop in it with the rope that's going away on top. Then you take the other side of the rope and you put it in from the upside into the hole. Take it on the other side and put it over the rope, then back under in the direction of the hole. Then you pull it through the hole and then you can tie it on. How to use a strap around a branch or an object. Take the end of the rope, pass it over the branch or the object, make sure that it's long enough, and then you come back with the end of the rope, so you have a second loop. You take the end of the rope, make it a bit shorter, and then you start to go around the two ropes that are over the branch, and you make rounds around it. Make sure that you have 3 or 4 and if it's possible more. First round, the second, third, 4 and 5. Then you take the end of the rope and you put it into the loop. Then you can tie it on. So it's tied on the underside, and then you can tie it on around the branch. How to attach two ropes with a fisherman's knot. You take the two ends of the rope, place them next to each other, and you make a single knot at the end. You go around, in from the back side. You make sure that you have enough rope left. On the other side you do exactly the same. You go around and go in from the back side. And then you tie it on. How to attach two ropes with a reef knot. Take one rope and you make a loop. Take the second rope and go into the hole. Go under the two ropes and back into the hole from the upside. And then you tie it on. How to attach two ropes with a sheet band. You take the first rope and you make a loop. Put the second rope from downwards through the hole, under the two ropes, and under the rope where you're working with. And then you tie it on. How to attach two ropes with a slipped sheet band. Take the first rope and you make a big loop. Take the second rope, put it through the hole from downwards, go under the two ropes and you make a loop and put it under your working rope and tie it on. How to roll up a rope. Take the end of the rope in your hand and with your other hand you place your thumb behind the rope. You straighten your arms and you make sure that you make loops from the same length. Make a big loop, place it behind your head, bring your arms back together, place your other thumb behind the rope and you make a second loop. This you continue till you're almost at the end of the rope. You make sure that you have one spread arm length of rope left. And you take the rope from behind your head into your hand. You make sure when you hold it in your hand that it has the same length. Then you take the rope and do it around the two ropes. And you make sure that you tie it on every single time you go around. Roll it upwards and you make 4 or 5 rounds. Tie it on. Third one. Tie it on. Tie it on. Tie it on. Then you make a loop and you put it into the big hole. The loop through the big hole and then you put it over the rope. And then you have the end on the other side and you can tie it on. Then you take this end and put it in the first round so you are sure that you can't lose it.